Joan of Arc, born around January 6, 1412, in Domremy, a small village in northeastern France, is one of history's most renowned figures. Her birth name was Jeanne d'Arc. She was the daughter of Jacques d'Arc and Isabelle Romay, who were prosperous peasants. Her family was deeply religious, and Joan grew up in a period of intense conflict and upheaval known as the Hundred Years' War, which pitted England against France. Joan's early years were marked by her deeply pious nature. She was known for her devoutness, attending church regularly and engaging in religious practices. There are accounts that she had visions and heard voices from saints such as Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. These visions began around the age of 13 and significantly influenced her future actions. Call to arms. In 1428, when Joan was about 16 years old, she began to believe that she was chosen by God to support Charles VII, the Dauphin, heir apparent, of France, and help him reclaim his kingdom from English occupation. The Hundred Years' War had devastated France, and the English had control over large parts of the country, including Paris. Joan claimed that her visions instructed her to go to Charles VII and offer her support. Despite the skepticism surrounding her, she managed to gain an audience with Charles at the Château de Chinon in March 1429. During this meeting, Joan impressed Charles with her confidence and her knowledge of things she could not have known without divine revelation. She convinced him that she was sent by God to aid in his ascension to the throne. The Siege of Orléans. One of Joan's most significant contributions came in 1429 during the Siege of Orléans. The city of Orléans was under siege by the English, and its fall would have given the English a decisive victory in the war. Joan's arrival in Orléans in April 1429 inspired the French troops and revitalized their morale. She was not a military leader in the conventional sense but served as a symbolic figure and a source of inspiration. Joan's presence, along with her strategic insights, helped turn the tide of the siege. The French forces, encouraged by Joan's leadership and religious fervor, launched a series of successful attacks on the English fortifications. By May 8, 1429, the siege was lifted, marking a crucial turning point in the war. The victory at Orléans significantly boosted French morale and paved the way for Charles VII's coronation. Coronation of Charles VII. Following the victory at Orléans, Joan accompanied Charles VII to Reims, where he was crowned King of France on July 17, 1429. This event was a monumental achievement for Joan, as it fulfilled one of her primary objectives and symbolized the divine approval of Charles's rule. The coronation solidified Charles's claim to the throne and marked a moment of national unity for France. The fall and capture. Despite the successes, Joan's fortunes began to wane. Her involvement in the military campaigns continued, but her influence started to diminish. In 1430, during a campaign to defend Compiègne from Burgundian forces allied with the English, Joan was captured by the Burgundians. Her capture occurred on May 23, 1430, and she was handed over to the English. Joan was imprisoned in Rouen, where she faced a politically motivated trial. The charges against her included heresy, witchcraft, and cross-dressing, as she had worn male military attire during her campaigns. The trial was conducted by an ecclesiastical court under the authority of the English and their allies, aimed at discrediting her and undermining the legitimacy of Charles VII's reign. Trial and execution. Joan's trial began in early 1431, and she was subjected to intense questioning. The proceedings were heavily influenced by political motives, and Joan was found guilty of heresy and sentenced to death. On May 30, 1431, she was burned at the stake in the marketplace of Rouen. Joan was just 19 years old at the time of her execution. Posthumous vindication and canonization. Joan's death did not mark the end of her story. In 1456, a posthumous retrial, conducted by the Catholic Church, overturned her original conviction. The retrial declared Joan innocent and condemned her previous trial as unjust. Joan was recognized as a martyr and her reputation was rehabilitated. In 1920, Joan of Arc was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. Her canonization recognized her as a symbol of courage and faith, and her legacy has continued to inspire people across the world. Legacy and cultural impact. Joan of Arc's legacy extends far beyond her military and political achievements. She is celebrated as a national heroine of France and a symbol of patriotism and faith. Her life has been the subject of numerous works of art, literature, and film. From Shakespeare's plays to modern movies, Joan's story has captivated the imagination of many and continues to be a source of inspiration. Her life also represents the complex interplay between faith and politics, and her unwavering conviction in her divine mission has made her an enduring figure in both religious and secular contexts. Joan of Arc's story is one of bravery, conviction, and a profound impact one individual can have on the course of history. In summary, Joan of Arc remains a monumental figure in history for her role in the 100 Years' War, her inspiring leadership during the Siege of Orléans, and her enduring legacy as a saint and national heroine. Her life exemplifies the intersection of divine inspiration and earthly struggle, leaving a lasting impact on both French history and global culture. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.